what happened was this. I stream on my phone. Well, I think many people stream on their phone nowadays. Gosh, I'm blind as a bat when I'm not wearing my glasses sometimes. Okay. So I stream on my phone. And when you stream on your phone, that means sometimes if a call comes in, I called my sister earlier, and then she called me, so I wanted to talk to her. So the stream kind of got disrupted. Let's see if I can do better angles or whatnot. What did I do? Looking at the mirror. When I'm braid. But I could do that. It's 100 degrees today. 100! So I still am like torn on Instagram because I feel like Instagram really just has not brought me traffic. Like I tried to grow there, and I don't know, I got to a certain point and it just never grows, and I just never seem to be that. Oh, you're getting a box? Oh, box braids. Oh, that's awesome. Is your aunt gonna do it? Or are you? She's really good. Like I saw her page, like very talented. Anyway, what was I gonna say? Oh yes. So I think a lot of people just really, really hate the heat. I don't know. I'm just used to it now because sometimes, like, oh, it's a little hot. But I think it's just because my unit that I live in is very good at retaining heat. Like it's literally cooler outside than it is inside because there's like no cross breeze. And I always thought, oh, it would be easier like to live on the first floor than the second floor. Because I remember years ago, I haven't even moved in a long time. I thought, oh, like carrying furniture up and down the stairs, like that's annoying. So anyway, it was just hot. But then I really don't like air conditioning because you go places like you're not used to air conditioning, and then you go into an air conditioned building and it's just too cold sometimes. Like everywhere is just too cold. Like I don't know. Like anyhow, that's just my opinion. People really love the air conditioning. I know there's that whole debate about the air conditioning at the Olympics, but I'm like, it's literally like 20 degrees cooler in France than it is here in the US. And we have a dry heat most of the time, but this year I think it's more humid. So like, and it's extended longer. We used to kind of have a couple seasons. Well, I mean 3 seasons maybe. We had spring, we have fall, but now it's getting to the point that it's almost like winter, summer, and our winters are not that. Well, they can get cold, but not like other places. Up in the mountains, yes, but not down here in the valley. It's pretty hot. Well, I just feel like the thing about AC that kind of bothers me a little bit is just, I feel like it's just too dry. Like every time AC's on for prolonged amounts of time, it feels too dry, and then it just feels too cold, and it's just too, and it just is too continuous, I guess. But people love air conditioning, so I don't love the price of the bill. Because I already have a high electric bill. I've talked about this. I'm like, no, there's no way. If you're one of those people that just has oodles and boodles of money to spend on every little thing, yeah, you could run your air conditioner day and night. I can't. So it's fine. I had a couple of different little companies that were reaching out to me, and they wanted me to like share their product, but then I never got the product, so maybe they changed their mind. I don't really understand. And I guess some people are like, oh, you have to tell them like that you want to get paid. And there were a couple of them that wanted to work with me, and I was like, oh yes, I want you to pay me like something, not even that much. And then I didn't hear from them again. And then I hear other people that have very few subscribers, and I guess they're doing all these brand deals where they're making like thousands of dollars. But to me it's just kind of weird, because I'm like, unless your videos are getting, this is just my thought, unless your videos are getting like, I don't know, like 100,000 views for every single video that you upload, which maybe some people do, I just don't see how anybody benefits from you getting paid. I don't know, because I just remember some people talking about like what they make for little sponsorships, and I guess too, that just seems weird, because unless you're like a really big YouTuber, I don't know, but I guess people want to get paid a good amount. But I've just done videos where I get like free product, and I happily do a video. And I don't know, some people probably think like, oh, that is like not getting your money's worth out of it. And I'm like, I don't know. To me, I've been happy with most of like the things I've done, the little sponsorships with, and the free product is good enough for me. I don't need to make like buckets of money on some sponsor. I just don't understand it really. And also too, when I share things, it's just because I think a lot about, like, I've really only done sponsorships, like I've only done them with companies that I think have a product that I would end up really liking. And it's funny because the last one I did was really, really good, and I was like, oh, their clothes are like really cute, and it ended up really meshing well with my style. Most of them like are just things that I would like. I just don't do ones that don't really apply to me, and I just do ones that kind of make sense in an organic kind of way, I guess. Some people probably, like, they would just want to be influencers, like they consider themselves influencer. So I never considered myself an influencer. I'm just a YouTuber, and I have a YouTube channel, and I like to be positive, and I like to focus on being happy. But I'm beginning to like realize, okay, just, it's not that I don't, like, in my own life, I don't want to help people, but it's just like every single time that something happens, I'm seeing, and this is my belief, it just seems like when, like, if you help certain family members, I feel like even at the end of the day, I feel like they're putting themselves above me, like, and I've just noticed that. I've just noticed that, and it's like, oh, but I'm not allowed to ask, because I was just genuinely asking about something that would help me, like, because I help other family members, and I'm like, why can't you take some responsibility for this thing? And then people tell me, oh, well, don't ask hypothetical questions, so-and-so is going through that right now, and that's the thing, like, I'm always supposed to be the one that absorbs this or takes that on, and I question why. Like, why did I do that? Why do I do that? But that's where I'm getting to the point that I love my family, but I'm not going to go to them about certain things that I just feel bothered me in the past. I just really won't, because you just get a lot of hypocritical sometimes comments, like, about how they think something you do is not as good as what they do. But I'm like, this makes no sense. Like, and that's another reason I always say, like, even though I do YouTube, I don't tell people like lots of specific personal things about myself, just because I honestly believe a lot of people will judge you if you tell them that that something bothers you, or you ask them to like take ownership for something, and if they don't want to do it, they will kind of be like, it doesn't matter who it is. Even with family, they'll just be kind of like, ooh, don't ask hypothetical questions. Oh, so and so is having this thing going on. Because the thing is, at the end of the day, I hate to say it, even with family, I think people just, they kind of put their own needs first. They just do. I hate to say it. I mean, not always, but. So I personally like to be a problem solver. Like if something's bothering me, and I feel like I need to have a better solution, I feel like it's better to come up with it on my own. Like I just truly believe that. I know a lot of people, and the same with long hair, because I remember like a couple of years ago when, okay, I kind of regret having cut my hair short, and it was because a family member told me something, just because I had like a little bit of seborrheic dermatitis like situation. And that was the second time. The first time was the tangle from the henna, but the second time I totally regret that. Because first off, I took some advice from somebody in my family, and I don't feel like that was helpful advice, but sometimes, I don't know, like, you panic about something and you jump to not such a good conclusion. But then there were people online. Like, I could have just been one of those people that was not transparent, really like, I wanted to cut my hair, and lied, or just act it up or bluff it up. But then I don't personally like to share a lot of thoughts about, like, I know what I like about my hair. I love this length right now and I want to go longer, but if I wanted to go shorter again, not that I don't think I would ask people or ask them for advice on hair care. Because first off, I don't know, I also had this, like, some people with long hair, they come to my channel and act like, oh, that they, like, I found out they were never a fan of my channel, okay? They were not watching my channel because they love my content. They were watching my channel because they thought, oh, they could offer me advice because that's something that they would have liked, even though they're not part West Asian, and they don't know about West Asian henna, and they don't have a respect for henna and things like that, and they come towards hair care with a very Eurocentric viewpoint. And I just feel like my hair care, like, I love henna. I love Middle Eastern stuff, so don't ever, like, I don't want people hating on Middle Eastern stuff. You can't do it on my channel. You just can't. Because I hate, like, the people that think henna damages hair no matter what. It's not true. It's a lie. Like, you can't mix henna with conditioner. I learned that. But it's a lie, like, when people say that henna can damage your hair. And you know what? My hair grew back really fast. I did henna. I just kept doing henna. Because I knew henna wasn't the problem. But I didn't, like, really announce it. But that's why. Even if, I mean, I don't ever plan on cutting my hair short again, but even if I did, I probably wouldn't do a video talking about it, just because I feel like I opened myself up to people who felt like they were entitled to give me advice, or just men who acted like because I cut my hair that they could have an opinion about it, and I didn't like that. And being more of an independent cookie, like being more of a problem solver person, those are just not things that I'm looking for. Like, I don't go out in communities like forums or groups of people and ask them how I should deal with things in my life. I just don't. Because to be honest with you, just from what I've seen, I see a lot of people, like, if you exhibit like a moment of just like something bothering you, there will be people with a myriad of things that they're not doing as good as you, okay? They're just not. But they will go on a superiority high horse, and they will tell you, oh, you don't ask speculative questions. Like, even though at the end of the day, I just think if anything ever bothers you, DIY it to the core. Don't talk to anybody about it. Don't. Because, especially when it comes to family, because you're always going to encounter people in your family who think, I don't know, they kind of like to go on a superiority trip with you. And I feel like people like to do that with me a little bit. Like, oh, I do this better. Why don't you do it that way? So I'm going on a superiority trip with them. I'm going to be like, I'm not acting superior to you, but this is where I go quiet on my western front and back end, and you wonder why I don't like call you for a few days and stuff. And I do love to talk to my family, but just like when I get responses like that, and when it's always like about, oh, something bothers us, and oh, this, and this, but you don't ever like really. So yeah, if something bothers you and you want to like figure out a resolution to something, hardcore research it on your own. Don't share it with your family. Like you can be close with your family, like when it comes to like I don't know, doing social outings or just like having dinners and things like that. But my recommendation is like I would have saved myself so much grief from the time I went to college until today if I had just been a little bit more quiet about things I do in my life. Because like when you look at things that your family do or does or things that they do, I don't think like they have all the answers, but people love to feel like they have all the answers. And I've seen that even like with long hair. Like there's people, they love to think that they know the answer to long hair, but I've had good quality long hair during my whole journey. So why would I need to like consult with people that don't have my hair type? That doesn't make any sense. Like, I don't know, just my opinion. Like I don't need to consult with people who don't have my hair type and I loved henna since I was a child. Like when I started reading things like about the Middle East and henna, I was like, I want to try that on my hair. And you know, henna used to be popular in Europe too. It's just nowadays in our modern times, chemical dyes have displaced henna, and it's kind of going that way globally. Like people think chemical dye is just like the best thing, and I don't know why. Like, okay, so there'll be people that'll be like, oh, I want to go gray. And I don't know, I don't have that issue because I don't have like a full head of gray hair. Like I just might have a couple ones here and there. And there's people that are like 15 years younger than me that have more gray hair than I do. And I don't know, I don't have gray hair like that. But I think a lot of it is because even though I might get stressed, sometimes I try to mitigate my stress, like by upping my happiness. Like I feel like trying to find gratitude and make yourself happy and eat healthy, like healthy eating and all that, and not drinking and stuff like that. I don't know. I feel like that for me, I don't know. I just feel like those things for me help me look more youthful, in my opinion. But some people just, I don't know, like they love hair dye. And I always see there's these people on social media, whether it be YouTube or TikTok, and not only Instagram, because I don't know, I always felt like Instagram was a place you could kind of promote yourself, but recently I'm just like, I don't really get a lot of traction there. Like some people who actually kind of follow me there will look at what I post here, but that's why I'm just like, I want to be able to get all my pictures off the Instagrammer without having to copy them and just delete the thing. Like that's how I feel. Like I'm at a point where I want to delete the gram. Like yes, I'm at the point I want to delete the Instagram. I don't know. That's just the feeling I have about Instagram. Like I like TikTok and I love YouTube, but I don't know what it is about Instagram. It's just because because it seems like my account would start growing and then it would just stop. And it's been halted. And then I get all these spammers who tell me, oh, other people are crushing it on the gram and they're getting like 15,000, but you're not. You need to pay me. No way. And I had this discussion the other day on my hair channel. I will never pay a scammer whammer. And you shouldn't pay anybody to promote your channel. I don't even think, like, why? I want my channel to grow through its own merit. I don't want to pay somebody to edit videos or promote me. I just don't, because my channel would need to be making buckets of money before I'd ever hire an editor. And then I feel like it wasn't my fun hobby anymore if I did, because if I hired an editor, I feel like I'm not being creative on it anymore. And the thing I love about this is when I do create a video, I use my phone or the computer to create that video. And I do it all with my own hands and my own mind, and any growth that I've had on this channel It's been through me only. I haven't had to pay like some scammy whammer to promote my channel. That's a beautiful feeling. Like that I've never had to pay for anything like to promote my channel. What growth I've experienced on my channel is through my own hard work. And I believe that. I mean, that might not be the thing that gets you internet famous, but maybe I'm not looking to be internet famous. Maybe I'm just looking to enjoy my life. And I love long hair, and I feel like, okay, so when I guess this goes farther and deeper into, you need to, like, you can be close to your family, but I think if there's something you really love and that you really enjoy and that you like to do, which your family would probably criticize, because I feel like this is more so with families, you just don't have to talk to them about it. And I know that might sound like not social enough, but this channel is all about protecting your energy and being less social. Yes, I know it's amazing, right? But learning to be less social on social media is kind of flippin' amazing. Because I feel like social media can be a good outlet, but you don't need the cacophony of voices. Like, for instance, I've been seeing, okay, it might be great for engagement. And there's like this one girl, she has beautiful hair, but she's always wearing her hair loose and then it gets tangled. Which to me, like, that's common sense. And then she'll be like, well, I braided my hair, but she does it like in a really big, kind of chunky braid. And I think if you had like the volume of hair that she has, that you would benefit from like multiple braids, or like 2 braids with multiple braids, not just one big giant braid. And it looks like she never really like brushes her hair completely through when she puts it in that braid. Like, she will have her hair brushed through, but a lot of times she's like purposely, intentionally like wearing her hair loose, so these big knots get in her hair. And then she's doing like, she's kind of, I mean, she has beautiful hair, don't get me wrong, but I feel like she's kind of pandering the haircut fetish guys, because she'll have a pair of scissors and the big knot in her hair. She's like, oh my god, I need to cut the knot out of my hair, and I don't know. And then she like rips a brush through her hair, and I don't understand like that kind of content. Like, a lot of people, they have long hair and that's how they treat it, but to me that feels abusive. Like, I feel like you should treat your hair with kindness and decency and respect. Like, why would you want to rip a brush through your hair? I personally wouldn't do that. I think you should be precious with your hair. You know, like, be gentler with your hair, because it's an extension of you. Like, why would you want to rip a brush through your hair? There's no need to do that. Like, it doesn't achieve a better looking result. And even if you do have like super thick hair, like when you're young, like if you're brushing your hair like that and heat styling it, in a couple of decades, you're gonna have a lot of hair loss, you know? And that's another thing too. I just think you wanna preserve your hair and treat it well with kindness and integrity and love it. That's just my opinion on hair. Like, but for her, like, a lot of people, I guess they're okay with like pulling brushes through their hair, tugging on it, kind of having one. Then the other thing I didn't really understand is she would kind of ask her audience like, oh, should we cut my hair? And I get like a lot of people want engagement like that, but I love just having a channel where I can connect with people in an authentic way, and that wouldn't be me anymore, because I don't want to ask other people what they think I should do when I know what I want to do. Okay, that's the thing. Because they don't know what I want to do. Why would I want to ask them what I should do when I know what I want to do? I don't need, and it's the same with family. So you can be close to your family, in my opinion, but I think if anything's ever bothering you, or you're kind of feeling like there's a situation in your family where you feel like something's not quite equitable, it's better to just not discuss that with family members and to try and find your own solution. Because I find like there's a lot of competitiveness in families where people like to feel superior, and they like to have this superiority complex, and they like to feel like they have their life more together than you. Although it's funny, because like the people that do that, like there's a lot of things going on in their life that I find questionable. And you know, I haven't Like I've said before, oh, that's not good for me. That might be good for you, but that's just not something I would want in my life personally. But but then if you mention something, they're like, oh, you should do this way, and it can be from the most weird things like paper bills. Like most people do electronic billing these days, and I found out today. Okay, story time. In the long AT&T saga, because I've been trying to cancel my account and bring it from AT&T, cancel it completely and go to Spectrum, which I now have Spectrum wireless. But I was noticing that my AT&T phone wasn't turned off, so I called AT&T yet again, and they told me yesterday that there was like 2 lines attached to the account. And then I talked to a family member about that, and they're like, oh, well, see, if you had gotten a paper bill, you would have known that. I said, actually, you can log in to any electronic bill and see the same things that you see on a paper bill, but there have been some issues with my AT&T bill for the last couple months. And then, I don't know, I just don't want to get charged by them again. And I don't know, did somebody get a free, like, cell phone for me or something? Like, I didn't sign them up, but I think that's something that would have happened on AT&T's end, and they haven't been helpful to me. And it's funny because people will be like, oh, you just have to escalate it up and talk to a manager. Do you know how many hours I spent on the phone with AT&T? And that's why I just don't talk to family members about things, because sometimes I would rather just have something canceled and oh what, maybe I got overcharged for something. But I don't know. Do I just get overcharged for every utility? Is my name on some list that says overcharge me for every single utility? Because that's sort of what I feel like. I feel like, oh, are they just offering me a higher rate than everybody else? And I have all these things that keep happening. I'm like, I don't know. Sometimes I feel like that, but I'm like, some people would probably be really mad about it. But I'm gonna laugh. I'm like, you know what? No. I mean, it sounds kind of weird. I think something weird happened in that AT&T store, because I went in there actually to cancel it, and there was a man younger than my nephew. My nephew's like 25. And this man, how old was he? I don't know, like 21. And he was acting like he ran the whole store, which he probably did, I don't know. And I asked him to cancel my service like a month ago. And he said, you can't do that in the store. And I said, you signed me up in the store. Well, we're just a store. We cannot cancel your service. And they give you the runaround there. So I learned my lesson, okay? I'm never going to go get a cell phone with a contract again. If you live in the U.S., don't get a cell phone with a contract. Read after me, kids. Like, get it with your local cable company or go do prepaid through Walmart. And I used to love prepaid phones through Walmart. I had one forever from like 2016 all the way up to 2021. But the reason I stopped was because I was doing the podcast at the time, and I wanted to try and be able to stream in areas that might not be my house. And sometimes you go places like that might be like a park that are more isolated, and there isn't always going to be Wi-Fi at every park. So that's why I got the hotspot. And it's like, I guess if I had just stayed with my prepaid wireless, I wouldn't have had all these issues or something. I don't know. I guess that was a mistake of June 2021 when I decided to do that. But it's okay, and I'm not going to be sad about it. And what? I mean, what I was paying really wasn't more than what somebody would pay with an expensive plan. I think for some reason something happened recently, because I had looked at my bill. I just remember last month seeing something strange with my bill where they said there was a tablet attached to it, a number attached to it. And today, like yesterday, being told that it was a tablet. But anyway, whatever. Like, it's over. This odyssey is over. I'm going to make sure that I'm not charged from AT&T ever again for cell phone service with them, because they're just not good. The last person I talked to was good, but the fact that it took me calling so many different times, and the reason I guess finally that lady saw, she goes, oh, I saw you call the other day to cancel, and yeah, you're right. Like, she noticed there was something not right going on. So yeah, I'm glad that she caught it, but I also know that AT&T had to data breach a few weeks ago, maybe a couple months ago. And I couldn't help but think that they have some problems going on with their site, but it's not the end of the world. I just think in the future, in order to keep things easier and not get bamboozled into like, oh my gosh, like what is this, like some sort of weird abusive relationship? I can't leave you, AT&T. Like you're making it like you're trying to hold me captive. No, AT&T, I can leave you because you're not a good service. Like the service was never that great. I only went to you because you had the hotspot and you live near my house. Well, you don't live. You're a telecommunications company. And here's the fun part about them. They used to break up all the big monopolies. Like there used to be a whole bunch of Pac Bells. Like they were everywhere. Like when I was a little kid, we had Pacific Bell. Okay, when I was a little kid, back in like the 80s, you couldn't even buy your own phone. You had to go to like you had to go to the phone store if you wanted to get a different model. Okay, and it had a very limited selection of phones that you could choose from. And then you could pay for a phone there, and you had to have a phone repair person come and install it, okay? This was before cell phones were really big. I mean, some rich high rollers had those big brick phones, like in the 80s, but I never had that. I didn't have that. So up until like I would say mid 80s, like that's how it was. And then like in the mid 80s, they started giving people more leeway where you could buy whatever phone you wanted to plug in. But around that time, like the Pac Bells got broken up and all the monopolies. But now it seems like it's going the other way, where you have big Google and you have big AT&T and Verizon, and they're really big. And I think Sprint went away and T-Mobile bought them. So you only have like three, I would say, like when it comes to like you have like the cable communications companies that have their own phone systems. But when you look, I think Spectrum is pretty big too. I don't know. They're all big, so nobody really breaks them up nowadays. But back like a couple decades ago, they used to break up these monopolies. So I don't know. I just feel like they're just becoming too big. And AT&T, don't go there to get your cell phone. I have not been happy with them. I mean, there might be some customer service people that were like the last lady did a good job, but I can't tell you how many hours I was on the phone with them trying to fix this. But it is what it is. I'm not going to be mad about it. I'm just going to see it as an adventure, like, oh, okay. And I've learned the lesson. I will only do like prepaid phones or a phone through a cable company. And the thing I like about the phone through the cable company is anytime you want to cancel your contract, you can. You just have to pay off the phone, which is fair because you bought the phone. You need to pay it off. It's just like a car, but it's a phone. And with the prepaid ones, like you can actually, like at Walmart, you can get a really nice, like they have the different iPhones. And I was thinking about doing that. I just didn't want to pay like several $100s up front. But I think you can get like the iPhone 15 Pro and do like a prepaid plan. Walmart gets a lot of hate, but I like Walmart. I love I love their prepaid phones because they have they have so much versatility, and I think they have Verizon prepaid phones too. But I just did it through Walmart Family Mobile because I found that they were the most flexible, and you could get like the newer phone. Or back in 2019 when I finally got an iPhone, I was bumping around on iPhone 5, but I purchased like a brand new iPhone 5 that had never been used before. And it was such a good price. I think I paid like $90 for it, maybe $100. It was such a good price. You own the phone free and clear. And same like I think with the more expensive phones now, I think it's a couple $100. But they're only, I think with those phones, I don't know if you can take them to other carriers. But with a prepaid phone, I just like it because you just prepay and you're not locked into like a contract. And let's say 1 month, I don't know, you were going overseas. You just went and buy a phone plan for that month. And then, so I highly recommend like prepaid phone or phone through the cable company. I want to do Verizon. I did Verizon years ago, like their wireless. I was not a fan. And AT&T, this is actually the second time I've done them. I did them years and years ago when I got my first phone, and I remember they were just okay, but they weren't great. And I think the reason I ended up not having them anymore was because up in the San Bernardino mountains at the time, it was like 20 years ago, only really Verizon worked on the mountain. If you had a cell phone, and it didn't even work on every single part of the mountain. It worked beautifully on the back side of the mountain. But when I had AT&T, like I had to walk in the forest and stand in this one clearing, like if I wanted to make a call on my cell phone. But Verizon had really good service, like from 2002 on, 3, when I went to Verizon. So they had really good service, but eventually I canceled with them just because I was with them for a long time. But I had a couple lines with them, and anytime you wanted to upgrade your phone, you had to wait a couple of years or pay several $100s, and they just charged a lot, I felt like, too, for what it was. And yeah, I don't know. So I'm not saying any phone provider is perfect, but I like Spectrum. Spectrum's really good. Like, they have a lot of versatility. Like, if you want to be on a payment plan for your phone, you can pay to own it, okay? Or you can do like a rental plan, like kind of like renting a car. And I'm thinking about doing this because I would like to upgrade to the iPhone 16 because they're like, oh, you're calling a month early. The 16 was about to drop. And I'm thinking about doing it, you know, because I don't know. It's kind of fun. Like, I don't have to have everything brand new, but I think with technology, it's kind of fun to have the new one. I'm kind of giving myself permission to do that in this part of my life because it makes me happy. You know, I don't have kids. I don't have a house payment. I can get a new phone. I really can. I get to be in the part of my life where I can do these things for myself and make me happy. Just little things like that. But also thinking about like bigger things when it comes to some of the family, like just things with my family that I feel like have bothered me for a bit. I feel like I need to find a solution to certain things because I hate to say it, certain people are always going to be like guilt tripped into doing things. That's me. I don't know, like when it comes to my family, I just feel like I always end up being the one that has to do certain things or have certain obligations, but other people, they don't have to do those things and they can just, I don't know, do what they want. But I also learned my lesson that if something bothers you or you want to find a better solution to something, it's better not to tell people on the internet or to tell a group of people. You can talk to maybe somebody you trust, but don't tell the world because there's a lot of people in the world that love to criticize other people. Just like I was noticing with that one long hair girl, like they were telling her how much hair she needed to cut off and how she had beautiful hair, but she needed to cut off inches. And I just think that is the weirdest thing. If you go to somebody's page and you're like, you have beautiful hair, but you need to cut off inches of your hair because it's thin here and it's thin there. And I'm like, you know what? She knows what she wants to do with her hair. She doesn't need you. I mean, maybe she wants to ask you guys because some people ask people because it's engagement. But I personally don't like that kind of engagement because I feel like it's kind of encouraging people to be a little bit busybody, and I feel like we need to have the type of engagement where we're encouraging everybody to be more uplifting and kind towards what other people want for themselves, you know? That's what I think anyway. But, you know, I have different thoughts about how to use the internet. I just don't think you need so much engagement. Like, it's good to have viewership, but I want people that have quality and substance and people who actually resonate with me on my page. I'm not looking to like have clickbait page or troll bait page or debate bait page or unsolicited advice bait page. I don't know. Because I'm just not wanting to be the recipient of any of those things, honestly, because my energy is not for that. And besides, I love my hair and I love what I do with my hair. I don't need anybody else to guide me on my hair. Thought explosion. You don't either. You know what? Hair attorneys are to share what's working with us, but everybody needs to like be a little bit quieter when it comes to their opinions about what, like honestly, I would never go to somebody's History Channel be like, by the way, I think you should do this because I do that. And I don't know, it just sounds weird. Like it's totally weird. I don't know. Or just anything, like whether it be hair or just like a family dynamic where somebody's like, oh, well, I do something this way and I have a paper bill. I'm like, why do you have a paper bill in 2024? I'm sick of paper cluttering up my house. I like to have a clutter-free house. I don't want to collect paper. But, you know, I have some family members, they have every pay stub since like 1999 or something. I'm like, why would you keep every single pay stub from 1999? It's like 26, 27 years worth of pay stubs? What are you doing with that? Why? Like, why? You don't need that. You really don't. Like, I guarantee, and then there'll always be some example like, well, because on the paper bill, it showed something that I did that I paid for, and somebody was trying to say I didn't pay for this or have this taken out, and I'm like, you can pull up an electronic version of your bill. You don't have to keep every single paper pay stub and bill, and people just love to keep so much paper, but don't speak to me. I mean, maybe don't rely on what I'm saying. If you want to keep a paper bill and they make you feel like more comfortable or you feel like peace of mind with your paper bills, you should get them. I personally have never had I was an early adopter of technology. Yeah, I was doing direct deposit in the 90s. And oh yeah, I had family members that were really scared about that. They're like, oh my gosh, you're gonna lose all of your financial aid because it will be directly deposited into somebody else's account and it won't be done right. And I said, what makes you think that? Oh, because this person in 1993, when direct deposit was really, really new, had like a $5,000 check deposited into the wrong account. And I'm like, well, that's the bank's problem, not direct deposit's problem. Because they were already wanting us to become technology forward when I went to college, and I had done a few things with computers in high school and in middle school, but it wasn't a lot. Like, I was still typing, like, if I wanted to have like a typewritten paper, I was still doing it on my mom's manual typewriter, which was not automatic, and by the way, did not have a correction key. Like, she had one that you could buy with the correction tape fluid, but honestly, okay, this is how far back it goes, because if you were still using a typewriter, you didn't even want correction key when you typed a paper, because it would show up and it wouldn't look as pristine as if you had typed the entire page pristinely. So I was typing my papers in late high school on a manual typewriter, and it was from like 1981 or 2, so it was better than some of the older typewriters, because I think my dad had actually found an antique one, but then I didn't really want to hurt my mom's feelings. I actually liked the antique typewriter from like the 40s, because I used to play with that thing, and it was so much fun. Actually, looking back, typewriters are a lot of fun, and I feel like this is something that the younger generation will never get to experience, is a typewriter. Oh my gosh, like when you were a kid, like you would get out the paper and just, I remember like, we just loved this. Like, it was so entertaining. And you would press on the buttons and it would make that clack, click, 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 clackety, clack sound. I still to this day, like, it's still SMR. Maybe I should ask my mom if she'll give me her old typewriter, because I don't like a lot of stuff. But I would love to do a typewriting video on my other channel. Because I love typewriters. I don't want to write on them every day. But that is one form of technology that I am very nostalgic about, is the typewriter. I love the clack, 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 clack. I just love that. But that just shows you, like, I didn't grow up with all the technology in my house. And when I went to college, like, I had to, I mean, I knew how to use a computer and a mouse. I didn't use a computer mouse until 1990 something, and I had it in high school. And I had to train myself on how to do it. And the teacher asked me, she goes, oh, do you know how to use the mouse? And I said, oh, yeah. I didn't know. I had to learn all by myself, just poking around in a word processing class, and that's how I learned. And those computers were actually older. They were like from the late 80s, but they were like these little Macintoshes that were in black and white. and a lot of the kids would sit in the back of class because they have the newer computers back there, I guess, that had games on them. But I was just learning my typing skills, and this was a class that taught you how to do all sorts of typing type assignments. And I'm glad I did that, by the way. I also had a manual and electronic typewriting class too. So, because typing is a very good skill, by the way, because even in our modern times, you need to be able to type. Like, it just makes it easier to, like, write messages. And, I mean, I don't know. In the comments below, how many people know how to do the QWERTY keyboard typing? Like, does everybody know how to do that? Because I think typing is a skill that can really benefit you, in my opinion. I love typing. I love to type. Gosh, it's really hot. So this is 2 days worth of my hair, and I've just been talking. Like a big talking machine. Okay, so there's different kinds of brushes. Oh golly. I have a brush right here, so yeah, I guess some hair will come out, but it still kind of shocks me. I just don't like hair to come out. I feel like I should have put my, like, I don't like to put the brush towards the top of my head because I always feel like it could pull hair out. I don't know. I'm weird like that. I just like to be more gentle. Let's get some water in our hands. Some water into our hands. And kind of like, this is what I do. I know so many people like to slick back their crown, which I just don't. I don't think you need to like use a brush on top of your crown like that. I just feel like that's too much. I feel like that's, to me, feels excessive. And I know like a lot of people love that really slick back look, but I'm just like, I feel like. But on the same token, they're complaining about how, oh, I'm having like hair loss from it. And I just feel like, is it the best thing for our hair to do that to that extreme? I just question things like that. I do. Okay, so I combed out with that. And then I might just use this comb right here to kind of do another comb through, and then I'm gonna gather my hair. Okay, it is looking pretty nice and full. I'm pretty happy with it. I'm very happy with my hair at this point in my life. I have to say I cannot complain. I'm happy with my hair. Okay, and I'm going to just gather my hair up. Way, I don't think I can wear that sunblock. Even if I mix it, I still see the white cast. Ugh. I was trying to see if I could like somehow overpower the white cast on it. I don't think you can. I mean, I could try, but it's possible. love the way it looks on top. Because you know, Habibi, Habibi, Habibi. I need to learn one or two words in Arabic. I really do. I've been wanting to learn languages, but I need to find a way to discipline myself to do it. I was looking at English to Arabic dictionary, but I need more context. I need to learn the alphabet. I need to start where a kindergartner starts. Braid my hair long when I was on my first long hair journey, it was very therapeutic. And also too, because I did it, like I don't know, I don't say exactly how old I am on this channel, but I did it at an age that a lot of people are just starting, like that are a lot younger than me, and then they decide that they don't want long hair anymore. But I went on a super long hair, like I already had long hair during many phases of my life, but my super long hair journey started at an age that a lot of people would probably be like, oh, like I just never lived my life according to what other people thought I should do in many different ways. And now I'm also embracing new things when it comes to long hair. Just maybe new braiding type things I could do. Pull it up around. And one more time, just make sure it's super secure. Oh, yay! Super secure braid. Okay, flip it to the back. I feel like, oh no. Okay, I'm not happy. Something got braided in that doesn't make it feel super secure. What got braided in that wasn't super secure? Well, I might have to re-braid it. I don't know. It's okay. It's okay. But I'm just gonna sleep soon anyway. Maybe, I don't know, in a few hours, a couple hours. So it probably doesn't really matter. Anyway, have a good night.